Hi everyone, my name is Brian Gannon, I'm a EcoSys configuration engineer with FTI Consulting, and purpose of this video is to just share something I hit upon today that um, I believe is a solution to a long time, or possibly a solution to a long time um, quality of life be, detractor within EcoSys standard products project module, and that being the non-stickiness of if I'm in project setup and I click on a project and I do stuff within a given project, and then I go to the I want to let's say look at the work breakdown structure of that project. I come to project menu, project structure, and either there's what I'll find is that there's no parameter there and I get a pop-up message like you have to pick a project, or it's a populated of a different project, namely the one you happened to select the last time you were here, as in what was over there does not carry over to here. Okay. I was in the midst of doing something else in this my local sandbox instance, which is out of the box EcoSys uh, standard products EC 4.31, which is the latest version. And I ran into that behavior. And just since I have some bandwidth, pivoted to, you know what, actually, I want to take a look at that because it's annoying. It's come up in engagements I've been on in the past year and a half and change. And that's because it's inherent to standard product itself. And so long story short, I found today that I can make it do what I want by simply tweaking the screen setting save mode setting for the root cost object parameter within a set of screen layouts, which I'll show in a second. That basically, because it wasn't, to my eyes, there were a set of screen layouts um, where that have the root cost object parameter, but it was set to same where it needed to be set to cross. So um, just to so after making the tweaks, which I'll show the details of in a second, I'm finding it doing what I want it to do and what I feel uh, one would want the default behavior to be. And that is, okay, I click on the project, whatever, I see whatever I want to see about the project or do what I wanted to do. And I jump over. So we're in Gulfport right now. The Gulfport project, that is. Actually, let's pop over. So yeah, Gulfport. And I am going to go to project structure, Gulfport. Great. Okay. Out of the box, it doesn't do that. And while there was inconsistent behavior in this regard going down this menu, long story short, uh, per my findings, fund request was working out of the box. It actually, the details kind of don't matter because there were the overall issue was that before anything, on back on the project setup menu, or excuse me, register, when the user clicks on a project ID here and triggers the screen layout event that populates this bottom pane, um, the receiving or really parameters of root cost object, which is defined in several locations in this bottom half of the screen layout. Um, it first needs those variables effectively need to be set to cross so that um, root cost object equals um, Athens now is in the session context of this session. If here they're set to same, it won't share that information up to, it won't like post it up to the session context, which is like a sort of metaphorical cloud um, uh, for this, my user session right now, that if told by an object that has a given parameter set to cross, like, hey, if there's another thing that the user goes to that has that parameter defined called root cost object, um, I will start off with root cost object equals Athens. So in other words, parameter stickiness and sharing, it starts a with a it's that mode is both about, am I open to receiving a value for my parameter from a session context, and also am I open to sharing my value for this thing to session context? That's the sharing to is what I think is forgotten, or maybe I don't know. I'm theorizing. I'm just way back when I was in admin EcoSys Admin 101, the way save screen setting save mode was described to me was as both, is this object open to sharing out as well as receiving in the value of a given parameter. So in the case of projects, um, it starts with, well, carte blanche. If a user comes to this screen for the very first time ever, root cost object equals nothing for the case of that user's session context. Let's pretend they've never been in EcoSys before ever. Well, if these things have to be set to cross in order for, in that situation, when that user clicks on a given project, for these objects down here to share with that session context cloud, hey, root cost object equals Tumwater, such that, all right, when that user goes to project structure, okay, structure, because its root cost object is now set to cross, will look to the session and context and say, oh, root cost object's in there and it's equals Tumwater. So I'm going to just go with that. There were issues out of what I found is that both on the project setup module side and on these other modules within projects as a whole, um, that setting was not set consistently, so you would see goofy behavior. Now it's doing what I would say should be the um, intuitive behavior, which is, hey, just make project sticky throughout this menu. Meaning, if I go to one of the things here that is project based, and not all of them are. Like, so for example, project manager dashboard. No, that one is uh, project risk. This one is not. Project risk handling is, that's project is not up there. So that's out of scope for this. Same thing with portfolio analysis. But for the ones that are project centric, these are now doing what I want, including if I go to on any one of these, I'm going to change it to another project. And none of these have any data, so whatever. But if I change it to another project, it should continue. It'll continue with that project. Okay, so it's kind of both ways. And that's out of the box. It doesn't do that. So in what I found was that for these are and I'll put these in the post along with this. Is already way too long, longer than I wanted. But long story short, these are the screen layouts that I found. It's a set of 16. So this is just out of the box standard product 4.31. Every EcoSys instance has the potential to be different in various ways. So please keep that in mind. But in my scenario I found was these. So each one of these 16 screen layouts has the root cost object parameter defined. And what I did was change that parameters save mode, screen settings save mode from uh, same to cross. Uh, and and I also and only the screen layout. So I didn't. It's not looking like down to if some of the screen layouts contain spreadsheets, forms, action batches, actions. I didn't go into those panels and do anything to those, and it's looking like that's not needed. But again, that's why I'm putting this out there as just kind of a proposed, because I'd love to hear what others say, and ideally what y'all find if you hopefully have an opportunity to try the same thing. Thanks for watching. I'm working on getting these shorter, but hopefully I'm hoping this helps some folks out there. Have a great night. Bye.